Listen, man, Yamori here, he's fighting for his life here. He doesn't want to get eliminated from this tournament, but he has a fan favorite once again. He has to be none other than the one and only, the Lucian of Spirit Realm, Knic. And how do you feel about this one here, Logan? How do you feel this one's gonna go?
I mean, I think that Knic's gonna win just based off of the pleading that I'm seeing in chat before the game starts. I think that Knic's probably the favorite. Yamori trying to beg for some sparingness, some mercy. But after what I saw from the previous Yamori set, on what was the set that we saw? I'm trying to remember.
Against Red Ninja.
He went crazy. Oh yeah, against Red Ninja, we saw him swap to a Mugi and then back to this Jay. And I think that Yamori's definitely got what it takes to take some games off of Knic. I don't think that it's an impossible task whatsoever. I think that he's a super strong player, and I think that he might be doubting himself a little bit here for no real reason. I think that it's part of the matchup when you're playing. Like, I know this is how I am when I play with a lot of my friends. Like, it can be difficult to like play somebody you know very well and you have matchup history against that can mess with your mental. But I think that from a little bit of an outsider's POV, I think Yamori is very capable of taking some games off of Knic.
100%.
No doubt.
I've seen before in the past where Yamori was able to win best of fives against Knic. I mean, those maybe had been off days for Knic where, I mean, Knic wasn't probably playing his best, perhaps, but usually most of the cases Knic has had the upper hand against Yamori here. But Yamori throughout today, like you said and like you mentioned, he's had some insane momentum. I mean, he took out Red Ninja from today's tournament. He has fought Knic already though, like I said, and Knic has already won against it. But it's definitely doable here for Yams. Like we're seeing here, I mean, it's still a pretty close game. All Yamori needs to do is to take out this first stock here, but he's struggling to do so. Big recovery.
Man. Oh, man.
It's nasty.
That was nasty. That was nasty, Hockey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. Knic up now a full 2 stocks. Yamori needs to try to see if he can take out this first. Denied the 3 stock. Goes for the 2-piece. Was looking for the last hit there, but an N-Sig caught Yamori off guard. Yamori here going for a nice little combo, but he gets a recovery. He gets a KO. That's going to be it there. Now a full stock up. The lead is slowly diminishing here, but Yamori, he needs to find his footing. He needs to control the traffic a little bit more. We need to see that explosivity like we saw in that Red Ninja set there. He needs to engage a little bit more. Seeing a little bit of adaptation being made, but Knic is doing such a good job into space around him, into kind of play around him. Just wait for him to whiff out those attacks and get those punishes. Big downsig does connect. I don't think he can make it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be it. Yamori is going to be... Yeah, he's going to be down right now in the set. 1-0 right now to Knic's favor.
Wow. What do you, if you're let's say you're Yamori's coach, you're in his corner right now, Hockey. What advice are you giving him?
Pull out the Umugi, bro. Let's see the Umugi. And just like that, man, he heard my words before I said them. The Umugi is out, guys, and he's locked in. He's locked in. And I definitely think this Umugi is going to, serve him a little bit better than the Jae-Yun. In this situation, even though you're still fighting against a Taurus player, because you're going to have a little bit more defense, but those signatures as well, it's going to help him a little bit more in order to establish that kind of offense. So I definitely think Umugi is a great pick here, but I mean, time will tell in this set, how it plays out for him.
Yeah, and if you've ever seen Ted Lasso, any viewers out there, the piece of advice I'd give Yamori is be a goldfish in this set. Definitely just relax. Don't worry too hard about this matchup history. Try and just play Knic as if he's just anyone else who's a new player to you. As I'm saying, until he gets his recovery stuffed, and he is down to almost a full stock on this Mugi second game. Yeah, a little warm up tone. I like it.
How can you relax when someone like Knic is performing and doing stuff like that to you, bro? Like, how can you relax?
I don't have a real answer for that. Knic is looking prime right now. Turnaround and light recovery. GC side 6 ending him up into turnaround recovery. I mean, Knic is looking like he's prime time right now. Jumps away from Greatsword side light. Gets caught by that one. Dodges in. Gets caught with a 3-piece. Good job, Yamori. Okay. I think it was a good idea.
Definitely think maybe the downsig would have been better like that, for example. Could have probably caught him there, but wasn't able to do so. Yams is still down, though. Knic hits the side sig. Defense from Umugi is going to come in here to play a little bit here. Yamori, though, Gonna try to look to take out this first stock. Down stick here, perhaps. There we go. I mean, that's just an Amugi classic, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yamori, though, he's still over on the greatsword, looking to get the KO. Doesn't land the last hit. Knic spot dodges it, I believe. Going for the side stick here. Punish from Knic. Doesn't land. Knic goes for the end sig. Doesn't connect with it. Both players kind of struggling to get this stock out of here. The down sig, though, from Yams is going to lead it to the KO. It's looking a little bit better from game number 1, but it's game number 2. Yamori still has some work cut off for him. He still needs to take out the stock immediately. I mean, he needs to build up damage, immediately, but Knic taking out the stock. Still, 1 stock lead, but it's looking a little bit better from game number 1. The Mugi definitely a little bit better from the JM, but I don't think it's the pick, man. It's just the way that Knic is playing. It's just... he just knows Yamori too well. It's kind of like Pillow's matchup.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, these players have fought each other before. You're going to have to bring something new to the table in this type of situation. Kind of like Blaze, where Blaze pulled out something like crazy, like that Arcadia against Hydra, and it just worked.
Absolutely.
I think Yamori's just going to have to bring something new to the table, and that doesn't only mean just like switching over to a new legend. He needs to bring something new, like gameplay-wise, to the table to beat Knic here.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide what I exactly think that is.
Ooh, punishing the down sig. Knic able to get that stock out of there and able to get the game. And I mean, Logan, continue your thought there. What do you think is going to be the adaptations going to be needed from Yamori to bring him back in this game?
I hate to say it, but just based off of how much experience these two have off of each other, I think that I don't know. It's an interesting question because like it's a weird combination of like he needs to be disrespectful in the sense of like he needs to not be afraid of Knic, but he doesn't need to be disrespectful in the sense that he's just like letting random sigs fly.
Yeah.
Because Knic is really good at just like knowing that Yamori wants to go for things and then kind of waiting and finding the punish. But I think if you're Yamori, I think the strat is probably like to try and wait Knic out a little bit and try to play a little bit more respectful but disrespectful in the sense of like, okay, you approach me now, Knic. Let's see like let's see how you're gonna try and get in on things. Because right now it's been a lot of Yamori approaching and then kind of getting caught by a lot of things though. But Nic's approach is no slouch. I mean, he's just a punish machine. Like he's just catching every landing right now this game. So I'm not sure there's a one size fits all solution necessarily for beating Knic. He's a phenomenal player. I mean, but oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that as well too. I mean, you mentioned something very amazing though, where you know Knic knows kind of like he's kind of inside of the head of Yamori. He knows kind of the matchup. He knows how Yamori plays here. So that's why I'm kind of saying like, you gotta try to see if you can bring something new to the table here. But Yamori, I mean, he locked into Arcadia, trying to take a page out of Blaze's book here. But man, he's just unable to get anything good started.
Knic knows that Yamori doesn't want to play a boring game of Brawlhalla. Like he knows that Yamori wants to put on a show. He knows that he wants to go for things, and he's taking advantage of it, to be honest. Okay. DC was close.
Knic, I mean, still over on his first stock here. Wants to see Yamori already on his last here.
Oh, yeah.
On to... This could definitely be tournament point here for Yams. I mean, he hits the Haymaker, but he goes for his Seer. Down stick, though, not connecting. Yamori still over on the Greatsword. I mean, this is his weapon. He's played 3 Greatsword Legends so far. He's been kind of... I mean, the Greatsword has been somewhat cooking, but, I mean, he's just... The damage that Knic has been outputting has just been insane. Knic on the way for the 3 stock.
Wow, just like that.
And just... He gets it, bro. He gets it in 50 seconds time, I believe. Wow. What a last game. And Knic just has some insane momentum in today's tournament. After 3-0ing Pillow and then the performance here against Yamori, like, I mean, he's beating Yamori like this. Knic has some insane momentum going into now it's on top 3. And I mean, just wow. You look at the stats. I mean, I don't even want to look at the stats. 116 seconds. Knic, I mean, just holding that stock for so long and just absolutely just beating Yamori.
Yeah, I think that if we would have put another name on ahead of Knic, like if we would have told Yamori that he was fighting Blaze or fighting some other player in that game, I think that it would have honestly been better for Yamori. But I think that I know that feeling so well of like re-queuing the people that you've queue a lot against.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oof. It almost did. It was a disservice to Yamori having all of that matchup history. It definitely did a disservice.